by definition of time and learning, it should be with a teacher. And we don't have a teacher in that library. Paraprofessionals do a superb job, but they're not teachers. And furthermore, at the elementary level, we will reduce one of the elementary library paraprofessionals. So we will have 2 library paraprofessionals staffing the 3 schools. The principals have recommended today that at the little school and the hood school, we would be able to open the library, keep it open 3 days a week. At the Batchelder school, because there will be more classes at the Batchelder, probably 23, that we need to keep it open 4 days a week. Or maybe 3.5, just so that we'll have enough periods to be able to get an opportunity for each class to go to the library once a week. Now, we do have parent volunteers who are coming in now, but there has been a suggestion, let's have parent volunteers come in when the paraprofessional isn't there, just to keep it open. We can't allow that. We need a staff member there who can supervise and help provide assignments and let people know. Otherwise, things are rapidly going to be chaotic. The same thing will happen with the computer labs, because we have to reduce one of the computer lab paraprofessionals. So the other effect at the elementary level will be the elimination of instrumental music lessons. Right now, up to this year, we begin instrumental lessons, band lessons, small group, in the 4th grade. And so Mr. Foreman at the Hood and Batchelder School and Mr. Tatro at the little school, that's part of their responsibility. But we're reducing under this budget 0.5 of the instrumental music staff. And so that will eliminate the lessons and any kind of band program. I know that at the school, particularly the little school, those students are pulled together by Mr. Tatro, gives them an opportunity to perform. We won't provide the lessons, we don't have the staff to provide the lessons, there won't be a band program. Now, when I came here in '94, there were no lessons, and I can tell you what happened and what the band looked like at the high school. It had about 6 students in it, and it will take about 2 years, and that's what's going to happen. You don't have a feeder program. So all of this is impacting significantly what will happen in our elementary school. In the middle school, we have 2 PE teachers. We teach physical education twice a week, grades 6 and 7, and basically once a week in the 8th grade. We're going to eliminate one of those teaching positions. So we will have the equivalent of only one person. So there's absolutely no way that we can teach. There are just too many sections to be covered. And so we're not sure yet whether we will be able to simply drop 6th grade and 7th grade to once a week, and that will take care of it, or whether we have to drop another grade completely.
So you might do 6th and 7th and no 8th,
Maybe
or
not 8th, or 7th and 8th, or I don't know yet.
Can we do that? I mean, are guidelines? Or?
We have to offer it. This is, again, all of these are distasteful, there, but I don't know, there are no other alternatives. People hope or think that there are other alternatives, but I don't see it yet. And with physical education, with a focus on fitness and nutrition and health, I testified last year at the State House on increasing the amount of physical activity and physical education in our schools. I believe it's vital, it's critical. So we're also going to, if you think about the integrated block, it's a period of time where every day students take for a quarter of the year music, art, international cultures, and technology. Every student, grades 6, 7, and 8. So now what we're doing is we will eliminate international cultures. So that's gone, every student, for a quarter of the time. We are eliminating by a third music and all. We will keep the technology in the block, but when you start adding up those periods, there's no instruction going on. And so there'll be, instead of 1 or 2 so-called academic seminars, which basically there's a paraprofessional making sure that students are doing their homework, we will find ourselves with more periods like that.
I would think that we'd be looking at four per week, maybe.
It will be at least 4. It will be at least 4. In addition to those reductions, we also will eliminate the instrumental music program at the middle school. We do not teach group lessons. Students in the middle school pay for that after school if they wish. But we do offer band and chorus. So because we won't have teachers, unless that's a choice, unless the choice is we stop music instruction and offer band. But the feeling is that because you're not, we just have to find another way. Whether a group of parents wishes to organize students after school and put on performances, we will not have staff to do that.
So we'd have to switch it to, it would have to be like a voluntary band club kind of thing after school. We could not offer it.
I won't have the teachers to staff it. So, because the override didn't pass, a major concern is the enrollment remains unacceptably high in the 7th and 8th grade. And with 240 incoming 6th graders and 8 teachers, 30 plus. I'm not, at this point, I know there were some previous times when I said we may have to come back and look at that, but if we have to look at that, something else has to go. And the choices would be limited. One choice might be to eliminate foreign language in the 7th and 8th grade. Take it out. Now, if you take it out to hire that 6th grade teacher or two, and right now we have 2.6 foreign language teachers, then you disrupt an entire program for another group of students, and you also, in the 7th grade, students take foreign language twice a week, and in the 8th grade, 4 times a week. And over the 2 years, that's the equivalent of Spanish 1 and French 1. So if you take out those periods, then that's another 2 to 4 periods where kids will be in
Need to
academic
be somewhere.
seminars. So you can begin to see why this is taking a long time. The middle school, with the override, of the 8 teachers we were looking for, and most of those teachers were focused on the middle school. One of them was a special education program. That is already written into IEPs.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the only solution here would be to violate the IEP, which would mean that those students would, and I will tell you, we already have requests for out-of-district placement since Tuesday because of the high class size. So if we don't staff that special ed position in the middle school, we can expect tuition charges many times over.
Big tuition charges too, since the
Right.
state just let them raise their rates.
35,000 plus transportation and so forth.
David, regarding the middle school facilities,
Mhm.
we intelligently, as a community, voted to add 6 modular classrooms. We were hoping to get the teachers to expand and put them in those classrooms. Have you looked at what we're gonna use those classrooms for at this point, or?
Well, I've said right along that, and Mr. Hodges has said right along, we could use those classrooms today, because we have some conditions in the middle school where people are doubling up, sharing rooms,
Okay.
and so we'll use them effectively.
Okay.
I guess what I'm getting at on the special ed, I feel compelled to try to find another reduction, which I've not reported, and I'm not prepared to report it tonight. But it will be it has to be a major reduction in order to hire that additional teacher. So I'm not sure where that will be.
I also am, and I don't know if the committee's feelings on this, the 240 students coming into the 6th grade with 8 teachers, I have a lot of trepidation about that. And I know, I don't want to cut the foreign language program, but I think that's critical to get 2 more teachers into that grade. These kids it's a huge transition year. I think it's much bigger than the 8th grade to the 9th grade, coming from their little small community schools into, a
Big
700
pool.
student
Yeah.
school. And I don't know
Not to
what
mention
the
they'd be
options are,
going
but.
from a 24 student
Right, to
classroom
30.
a 30. And with a major, push in curriculum.
Right.
In the 6th grade.
A lot more expectations.
Right.
A lot more work.
I don't know, and I'm really reluctant to even mention it, but the kind of situation could very well be that we would go back and look at those elementary numbers and whether or not there can be some spot redistricting to achieve higher class sizes, but, whether that's kindergarten or 1st grade. So I don't know yet, but that's, I want you to know the kind of direction, if that becomes, that is, if the 6th grade becomes a major issue, the choices are very difficult. Do you eliminate, say, a foreign language? Do you eliminate a library? Do you do X or Y? There's no choice, no matter what you do. This is not like it was 5 years ago, or even last year, where you can up the fees or do this, or we have come to the end of the line. And now it's affecting, and these are not things that you easily put back in place. That's the middle school. The high school,